Sorry, we've not been on for quite a number of time, for about a week or so. We've been off air because we had a power issue. But thank God the issue has been rectified. So we'll be able to continue from our 10 minutes advice that we normally give to the youth. We had a terrible power issue. And so we're not able to come on air for over almost a week now. Very sorry about that. I want to still continue on the issues that we've been dealing on for some time, the issues of leadership by example. Leadership by example. And one of the ways to be able to live a good example when you are leading is to make sure you are accountable. You should be accountable. I mean, I watched the what do you call it now? I watched the interview between Rufai Husseini and the Minister of Works. And I saw that the Minister of Works seems not to be too comfortable with the questions he was being asked. And one of the things I saw in that question is just about accountability. They're spending billions and trillions of naira to build a coastal road from Lagos to Calabar. Now, what is the amount per kilometer? It's just a simple question. But the minister seems not to be comfortable with it. And we saw the reaction coming up. Reacted seriously over that question. I say he's an engineer, he's a professor. This is a very simple question. If you are an engineer, you are the minister, you issue the contract, what is the amount per kilometer of that road? Because you are accountable to Nigerians. Rufai was saying that asked that question is a Nigerian. And he has a right to know. Because these are taxpayers' money. But we live in a system where the politicians, especially when they have government positions, they seem not to be accountable to anyone. They do what they like, and they expect you to buy it. And each time you are trying to ask questions, trying to find out, it seems as if you are attacking them. You see, we must have that culture of accountability. We must be accountable. The minister is not just accountable to the president that appointed him. He's accountable to Nigerians that he's serving. You can't be spending billions and billions and we don't know how much. These are very, very simple questions. You're welcome. Like I said, we've not been on for about 5 days now because we had issue with power. There was no light at all. Our transformer went bad, and for about 5 days, there was no electricity. And unfortunately, we couldn't put on the gen because we had some issues. The gen has some issues which we're trying to fix, but we're trying to see how we can get on that one. So our program will be consistent and constant. So thank you very much. I can see you asking what is going on here and there. So we're looking at accountability. If you cannot be accountable, then you should not be in a position of authority. If you cannot be accountable, then you shouldn't be in a leadership position. Because as a leader, you are accountable. You should be able to defend the actions that you take. You don't begin to ask the journalist, who are you? Do you think you are? Who do you? You are serving him. You are serving they are serving the citizens of the country because we are Nigerians. And it's from the taxpayers' money that you have been paid. It's from that taxpayers' money that you are functioning. But a situation where the ministers find it difficult to ask some questions, people are doing what they like, they are not accountable. They can't tell you how much they spend on this. Even at that, let me just even bring to the notice of the minister himself that the biggest problem we have in Nigeria right now is not the coastal roads. Nigerian roads are bad. Nigerian roads are death trap, bad, very bad roads. If you are moving from Ore to Benin, for example, it's an evil road. So the minister is spending billions and billions on building coastal road while the road within the country is bad. And the reason why they are doing that is because it is easier. You can make better money when you are involved in coastal road than when you are building, repairing the road within the country. Because, like I said in the forum, one of the easiest way that government officials make money, conniving with the permanent secretaries, is to overinflate the costs. That very road, coastal road they are building now that is costing trillions and trillions, you'll be shocked that if it is properly done, half of the money will be gone. Half of the money will be returned back. But because we have a system, we have a country where people are not accountable, where people cannot ask questions. Once you ask questions, they turn it to a tribal war. If you are not, because it's an Hausa man, it's a Yoruba man. You see, as long as we keep bringing this narrative of tribalism, Nigeria will never make progress. They are serving the country, they are not serving their tribe. If in 2027 Nigerians feel that the current president is not performing, they should be voted out. There's no law that says because you are a president, you must come back for second term. And let me say this: whatever the president cannot achieve in his first term, he can't achieve in his second term. If you like, you can give him 40 years. He cannot be able to achieve it. It is not the number of years that you spend that makes you a good leader. It's the effect of the number of years that you spend. I mean, Donald Trump is just not up to a year now, about 8 months or so as president, but Americans can feel the effect of his leadership. You will know a good leader in the first 5 months. You will know. You will know where a leader is going to in the first 5 months. And so today we are looking at accountability. That you must be accountable. You are accountable to the people you are leading. You are accountable to every citizen you are leading. People can be able to ask questions to know where you are taking them to. It's not a matter of people being silent or people not asking questions. Like I said, in the next election, which is 2027, anybody that comes to you, and tell you that you should vote for somebody because he's from a religion, run away from the person, he has nothing to offer. I mean, the first 8 years of late President Buhari, in the first 4 years, we already saw that he was a complete failure. Complete failure. But the Northerners, they won't hear of it. They kept him there and tried to vote him back. And after 8 years, nothing happened. Now we have another one now. It looks as if people from the West are insisting that no, he must remain there. Whether you perform or not, as long as you are from the West, you must remain there as president. Things doesn't work that way. Nigeria's youths must make up their mind that they want good government. Good government. People are suffering. If things continue like this, even going to school will become a problem for them. Look at the cost of education. We are paying close to 5-6 million naira for a child in the higher institution. Where can this kind of madness happen? How many people can afford it? Look at the cost. A country and a government that wants to educate its people cannot put the citizens through this stress, through this pain. Somebody studying, a medical student, paying as much as 3 million, 4 million, 5 million, 6 million. How do you want to build a nation when the cost of education is something else? People cannot afford it. We want leadership by example. When a leader tells you to tighten his belt, he should tighten his own belt. You can't talk about tightening a belt, for example, when we bought a new jet, you bought this, you put the kind of car you are using, you are flying up and down, enjoying the people's money, and people are suffering. And remember I said something at the beginning. I said I pray earnestly, seriously, believing God that this government cannot afford to fail. Because if this government fails, that's the end of democracy. Because these are people that were fighting for democracy. And now that they got there, they will be even worse than the military. And look at Soworena is standing trial for abusing the president. But when Jonathan was there, he was insulted. In fact, they carried his coffee. I heard Tunde Bakare in a video that is going viral, placing curse upon Jonathan and his family, and they will die of belly ache and the rest. He was not harassed, he was not arrested. These are people we call true Democrats, not people that are pretending to be Democrats when they are not. They are deceiving people. And the question I want to ask is, how long will Nigeria continue to remain to be deceived? It's not about prayer. It doesn't matter how much we pray as Nigerians. If we have bad government, things will continue to go bad. Like somebody said, God has done all he wants to do for Nigeria. There is no nation on earth that is as favored as Nigeria, blessed abundantly with oil, blessed with gas, various mineral resources. In fact, the mineral resources we have in Nigeria, very few nations on earth have it. Nigeria have all the mineral resources you can think of. Only mineral resources alone could have made us a rich country. But unfortunately, Nigeria is still extremely poor. Each time you move on the street, people are calling you 24 hours. Old people on the road begging you because there's no food to eat. The other day, I didn't use my car. I was coming back from somewhere and I saw this very old lady on the road begging. Please, I'm hungry. I want to eat. A friend of mine called me that day and is asthmatic. And I needed medicine for asthma. I said, please, I need money for asthma medicine. It's my friend, it's a pastor. One one called me some time ago and told me his son is in University of Benin, a close friend of mine. I said he needed 150,000 to pay his child's school fees. By the private school are talking about 6 million, 4 million, 5 million. It's wrong. That's why we say we have terrible, terrible leaders who are not leading by example. Terrible leaders who are doing everything possible to see that they destroy Nigeria. We have leaders that are not sensitive. I'm not a politician. But before this government came into power, a bag of rice was 3,500 naira when Jonathan was there. Now a bag of rice is almost 100,000, 1,800,000 naira. Look at the difference. Today I was moving around looking for fuel. There was no fuel. There was no fuel. A kilogram of gas that used to be 400 naira, 350 when Jonathan was there, today is 2,000 naira. They've increased gas now to 2,000 naira. So everything is just going up. And we have leaders that are not, they don't bother. Instead, we begin to see leaders who are spending money because of the privilege of the office they hold. They keep spending money, wasteful money. Billions and billions and billions. They are not countable. Thank God, the Minister for Science seems to have respected himself and resigned. Because information going around now said the Minister for Science came to office with a fake result. Yes, he has resigned, but the question I want to ask, when their names were submitted as to be nominated as ministers, are you telling me the DSS, the police, they didn't investigate to find out if these things are real? So the question you want to ask yourself right now, how many ministers are there with fake results? We're talking about leadership from by example. We want leaders that are accountable, leaders that you can emulate. Leaders that you can emulate. But most of the leaders we are saying right now, they are not good example to the youth. Now he has resigned, he came with fake results. Will he be arrested? Will he be prosecuted? Will he be punished? You are running after Yahoo boys. But you have ministers that are coming with fake results. What kind of country is this? And we are praying every day when we God, when will you give us a good leader? Because even when you want to vote, they already have the people they want to put there as president and governors. The vote doesn't really count in Nigeria. They are all rigged. The former president, Goodluck Jonathan, said it clearly that the elections in Nigerians are rigged. So the people have no choice. They don't have say in who becomes president because they rig themselves into office. It is rigging and fraud that enables them to be in power. Even when we say, no, we don't want to vote for them, they have a way of getting to power, even without your vote. They are not depending on your vote. All those charades they call election, it's not election. Look at the joke that took place in Edo State, the joke that took place in Osun and different states. Fraudulent election. When are we going to come out from this mess? And I said the last time, I said, look, having a new INEC chairman is not the solution. We need a total electoral reforms. Because a new chairman or not, with the same system, will produce the same result. We produce the same fraudulent result where who will become president have been concluded a month before the election. We are in 2025 now, but I can tell you that it has already been concluded who will be president in 2027. So your vote does not really count. It is those that count the vote that count. It's not the vote your count, it's not your vote that count, it's those that count the vote that count. And the chairman of INEC is appointed by the president. And if the chairman of the INEC is appointed by the president, who do you think is going to support? There's something wrong with the system. And it is obvious that things cannot change like this until the people demand a change. It's quite sad. It's quite unfortunate. But like I said, leadership by example. Well, the minister, he tried, at least he resigned. But what a wicked that was the FCT minister that was accused of fraud, of buying houses with evidence here and then. What has happened to him? Nothing. Is it because that one resigned? Is it because it's not useful in terms of rigging for 2027 election? And so because Wike is still needed to play the normal role, to maintain his structure. When he was having issue with Fabara, then he said Fabara tried to remove the structure. And I asked myself, structure. It's not the people that matters. It is the structure. And those structures we are talking about, those kind of structure are they? They are structure that enables rigging. We cannot have a better tomorrow until we lay the foundation. And the way we can lay the foundation is for we to begin to lead by example. The leaders must lead by example. If we must have a better tomorrow. You're welcome. Take good care of yourself. Until we see tomorrow, make sure you lay good example wherever you find yourself. Whether you're a pastor, you're a father, you're a imam, you are a bishop, you are, what do you call it now? You are a president or governor or senator, a husband, a wife. A husband rather. You are a leader. In any area you find yourself of leadership, try and lead by example. And remember, people are watching. People are following. Take good care of yourself.